Ain't no half with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. Thank you to everybody who has rocked with us tonight. Let's get some housekeeping out of the way so we can rant and close and get the hell on up out of here. As we do every single week, we always make sure that we give you the history moment. And today, June 12th, 1967, is the landmark civil rights decision of the United States Supreme Court, which invalidated laws prohibiting interracial marriage.
Yay.
The case was brought by Mildred Loving, a black woman, and Richard Loving, a white man, who had been sentenced to a year in prison in Virginia, our home state here, for marrying each other. Their marriage violated the state's anti-miscongeniation statute, the Racial Integrity Act of 1924, which prohibited marriage between people classified as white and people classified as colored. The Supreme Court's unanimous decision determined that this prohibition was unconstitutional, overruling Pace versus Alabama from 1883 and ending in all race-based legal restrictions on marriage in the United States. The decision was followed by an increase in interracial marriages in the United States and is remembered annually on Loving Day, which is June 12th. It has been the subject of several songs and 3 movies, including the 2016 film Loving. Mm-hmm. Beginning in 2013, it was cited as precedent in United States federal court decisions holding restrictions on same-sex marriage in the United States unconstitutional, including in 2015 Supreme Court decision Obergefell versus Hodges. So on this date, 1967, interracial marriage has become legal here in our country. Ain't no half-stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. As we do every single week, we're looking for a missing child. Her name is Unique Brown. Unique Brown's missing from here in the Cap City, Henrico, Virginia, since June 2nd, 2017. She's a 17-year-old black female, black hair, brown eyes. She stands 5 foot even and weighs 100 pounds. Last seen on June 2nd, she may actually be heading to Newport News for those folks out of state. That's about an hour east of here down I-64. So if you've seen Unique Brown, please contact the National Center for Missing Kids on their website, missingkids.org, or contact them by phone at 1-800-THE-LOST, 1-800-843-5678, or contact the Henrico County Police Department at 804-501-5000. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. At this time of the show, we're going to close it out with our rants, close it out with our closings. I'm going to have my sisters go first. First up, our sister, Miss Tony. It's good to have you here on the second Monday of every single month. Time to close it out with your rants and your closing. Sis, what you got?
Always a pleasure to be here. I had a good time in my short stint tonight. Yeah, good stuff. And everybody have a wonderful week.
Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy in that radio. Q Boogie.
Yeah.
Boogie, it's time to wrap it up. Close it out. What you got?
Let people live their lives and stop trying to police folk. That's all I got.
Sheesh, that's what's up, man. We being real quick. So before I close it out, because I'm gonna be quick too. Let me get a couple of quick shout outs for Laurel, B, Nikita, June, Katrina, Shelly, for all checking in. I know that there were others who checked in tonight as well. So I appreciate everybody from coast to coast on TuneIn, on legacyinternetradio.com, on Streamer, on YouTube, on iTunes. Appreciate all of you for listening to the flagship show of Legacy Internet Radio. Ain't no half step on Marcus J, which airs every single Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern until we finish. Tuesday night, you have the listening party. Wednesday night, you got hashtag Brother and Sister Shenanigans. Debuted last week, taking over the time slot of Joint Body Radio, which is still part of the family here at Legacy Internet Radio. Stay tuned for more from them. We've got Absolutely Alphas that will return to Legacy Internet Radio after hiatus in July. On Thursdays, you have All Throttle Radio. Our brother Solo was in the building recently, earlier tonight, actually, I should say. They've been doing a lot of live shows out and about, so we appreciate them. Friday nights, you got Couch Coach Live, our sports show. Saturdays, you've got I Got Something to Say, hosted by our brother Tavon and our sister Neek from around the way, and our brother Big E, moving their time slot from 2:30 to 6 p.m. Eastern. During the day, we're playing replays from all of our shows, so you can catch up on anything that you may have missed during the day on Saturdays. After I Got Something to Say, got the Bob Marley and the Family Reggae Mix. That's taking you all night, Saturday night, into Sunday morning with amplified gospel. Picks up playing gospel music, and we're playing sermons and just all things spirituality, taking you up to the 6 p.m. start of Twa After Dark. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We are Legacy Internet Radio. Stay tuned for Legacy TV, which will be returning. We'll have some quick hits going throughout the summer. We'll be returning to Comcast and Verizon this fall. At this time of the show, time for me to close it out with my rant. Time for me to close it out with my closing. Tonight is no different. I appreciate everybody giving me an opportunity to do so, and I'll be brief for a change. I'm going to ask you all to do me a favor and pull out your phones if you don't know this song. If you do know the song, just go through the lyrics in your head. No Vaseline, Ice Cube. We all love the song. He dissed NWA, and I'll be honest with you, I know the words inside and out. It's a dope song, right? Yeah, check it. He says the N-word all throughout the song. No censorship. He just says the word. He says the word Jew one time, and they blur it out. They blur it out on later versions. Now, why is that? It's because they don't allow disrespect with the ridiculous notion of a term of endearment like we do. Michael Jackson has a song called They Don't Really Care About Us. He says a negative word for Jewish people that starts with the letter K. They made him remove the word from later versions of that song. Now, I bought the Dangerous album, or the History album, actually. I believe that's what it was, on the History album, 1995. I bought it when it first came out, Michael Jackson fan. So I got the original version. But every single version after that, they blur out the K word. On another Michael Jackson song, it's called This Time Around, which is also on that same History album. He's got a duet with our beloved Biggie. The N-word is said on the song. No change. The point? We are the only ones who allow self-disrespect. And we wonder why we are so disrespected by others. Why? Because we teach them how to diss us. Do better, people. Black people, do better. And quit saying that damn N-word. That's the Marcus's unrelated rant that has nothing to do with what we've been in here talking about tonight. It's the end of the show. I want to remind everybody that independence is key to building your legacy. Also want to say peace to all the stars and all of the squares. The abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. Those are the words of Bob Marley, who you hear singing in the background. Ain't no high stepping with Marcus J. We will be back next week, live from the den. Peace, y'all.